Hello Aries, this is your June 2024 reading exclusive to Patreon. So it's in full swing now, all of the preparations, the planning, everything's kind of coming together for you this month. And May was a little emotionally fraught. It was something that you're not used to, perhaps. It was a little out of the ordinary, unexpected. Something you haven't really experienced in a long time, came up in May. But now June, you might still have a little bit of that headache energy, the hangover from May. And not necessarily literally a hangover, but it also could just be the metaphor of like when you kind of have a hangover because everything is overwhelming and you're planning and you're prepping and you've got a lot on your mind, but it is all coming together, and soon things are about to just be in full swing, in full swell of whatever it is you're working on coming to fruition. And it's going to be good. So I hope you really enjoy June, Aries. Let's see what cards are coming through. What's coming through for Aries? Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Swords. Interesting. Okay, so for sure some of that Five of Cups energy is reversed at the bottom of the deck. Some of that like spilled milk, or some of that disappointment, and I'm disappointed in this person, I'm disappointed in myself. This like tone of disappointment is still hanging over in a way in this reading, but we'll pull more cards and clear them up and get into it deeper. This Virgo energy and Libra energy coming through. The Virgo energy is in reverse. Virgo loves to plan, it loves to perfect and put the cherry on top and bring everything together in its final stages. It's like a mutable energy, so it represents like the ending of something and finessing it and making it perfect, packaging it up, gift wrapping it, making the product just presentable and like digestible. And you could be doing that, you could be wrapping up something of your own to kind of put out there for consumption. And other than that, I feel like because Virgo is so mercurial and they're all in their mind, and that's like that mental energy, and the reversal of that would be like you having a little bit too much on your mind at the beginning of June. I have to do this, I've got to be here, they need to do this, I need to kind of like coordinate with that person and bring it all together. So I mean, that is potentially a lot to have on your mind, and I hope that you're getting some support and that you're not set back and delayed too much. This does represent delays and setbacks. Maybe you thought somebody was going to arrive at a different date. Maybe you thought you were going to meet somebody and then the plans kind of go AWOL because the reversal of the Knight of Pentacles slows your roll entirely. There's probably a reason, and we'll clear it up with another card, as to why you have been slowed down at the beginning of June and why you're supposed to maybe use your discernment. Maybe you're supposed to double check something. Maybe it's going to work out in your favor later down the line and you just don't realize that yet. Now we have the Two and Three of Swords. Okay, so to me the Two and Three of Swords is you coming to terms with what happened last month. Could be one possibility, because last month there was all of this like emotional issue, and there were egos, and there was conflict, and there was an annoying situation. And maybe Aries, you were able to experience the emotional impact of that right away. Like you felt how you felt and you experienced the emotions of all of that. It seems like now in June you're going to start rationalizing, making sense of it, and trying to understand the situation with your logical mind rather than your emotional body. So the Two of Swords, you're kind of very indecisive this month about something, about what should you do. Should you tread carefully? Should you be direct? Should you avoid hurting someone's feelings? Three of Swords, is it your feelings that's going to get hurt? You want to reach for help, you want to ask advice, you want to gain a new perspective, you want to talk to somebody about this and be like, hey, what do you think about this? This happened and I'm not really sure where I stand or what happened with that. What is it, Baba? What is it? So yeah, there's a lot on your mind. There's baby Shay. I'm going to take him out of this harness though. let's get out of the harness. We're going to pull Aries 3 more cards and then we'll get out and say hello. So yeah, I mean, the 2 and 3 of Swords, it's going to be, we're going to have to clear these cards up. So can I get 3 more cards for Aries now for the Knight of Pentacles in reverse? And then we'll look at the Libra energy of the 2 and 3 of Swords together. It doesn't have to be that you're dealing with a Libra. It could be dealing with something of a Libran energy, relationships, diplomacy, cooperation, commitment, compromise, building a bridge, mediation. We got you, baby. 6 of Wands, Hierophant, and the Magician. And now we're getting you out, Shay. Let's greet this Aries, peeps. Are you out, Baba? Are you out and about in the world? Are you out and about in the world today? There's plenty for you to see here. There's plenty for you to see here. Okay. So what we're going to talk about now is the Knight of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. You really had yourself set up for success. You did all you could in terms of planning and preparation. You were really well organized. You had a vision, and if there are any delays or setbacks on this or any obstacles, just know that it's not because of anything that you failed on. In fact, the 6 of Wands represents success, and you're going to get your flowers for this, Aries. People and whoever you need to see will see the work you've done and will recognize it and validate it, and you will be applauded for this. It seems like you will have increased popularity at the beginning of the month. Everybody will want a piece of you. Everybody will want to know about you and what you're doing. And the Knight of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands just tells me that part of your plan, part of your progress, part of your ambition or goal is going to be delayed, taking a long way around it. You can't control external forces and situations. Like, people might be delayed, their flight might be delayed, their plans might get changed, and don't take that personally, because you've done exactly what needs to be done here in order to make this project, goal, manifestation of yours a success, and you're going to get recognized for that. So underneath this 2 and 3 of Swords, we got 2 major arcana energies, and they kind of are doing something similar, well, similar looking. They both have this white hair, but they're both closing their eyes and looking with their head tilted upwards. Okay, so what does that mean? You're hoping that, this person is hoping that creative principle of the universe is working through them and being channeled through them, and they just pick up the tools and make manifest in reality with their body. Like, these are third dimensional tools on the table, but what's being channeled through them is something from a different dimension. It's creativity or source energy or inspiration. The Hierophant, similarly, they are closing their eyes in, I guess, prayer, right? They're waiting to hear answers. You know, prayer isn't always speaking and requesting and talking, and it's actually oftentimes listening. And that seems to be what's happening there. So let's see. The Hierophant and the Magician card. Underneath this indecision and you're kind of like, am I going to have to continue to tiptoe around this in June? You're indecisive here, and you're kind of doing a no, like a silent treatment or a ghosting, or kind of thinking like how it's like your defense mechanism, though. It's like how you cope, but it kind of is reading as potentially hurting someone or feeling like a punishment for somebody. The Hierophant and the 2 of Swords. Get really still when all is said and done in June. I know you're going to be busy. I know that there's something big coming up for you that you've been planning and that you're part of, and that you are looking forward to, maybe it's a bit of a headache, but it's happening and you're involved and it's important. So at the same time, the 2 of Swords and the Hierophant, like, both of these people are basically, one has a blindfold on, one has their eyes closed. The moon here is representing an intuition, an inner knowing, and the voices whispering in this person in prayer's ear is again that inner knowing. It is, we think that we're kind of maybe hearing from a benevolent higher power, and maybe we are in prayer, but oftentimes in our stillness, we are able to hear the inner voice and listen to what it says. So when all is said and done in June, I'm getting up. What is it, Babby? What is it, Babby? When all is said and done is in June, am I gonna have to talk in a baby voice, Shay, for this video? You're gonna try and find some quiet time on your own, some peace and quiet. Get somewhere where you can be really nice and still, some sacred space, wherever that is for you. Your yoga studio, your art studio, your living room, out in nature, down at the beach, whatever for you brings harmony and stillness and a reset of your nervous system, and a place where you can wind down after everything that you're involved with manifests. Goes off really well, by the way, so don't worry. The Hierophant and the Two of Swords are when your problems will be answered and you'll know what to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be through meditation. You might just get this feeling, or you get a new perspective, or you're able to understand something, but it has to happen through this kind of like stillness in a sense, and trust that you're going to know what to do about this. The Magician card, well, there's the action. That's dynamic action. So for the most part, you're going to take an action on this. The tiptoeing around probably won't work, but is the right idea to go approach this like a ram head on and directly? The Three of Swords, this could be the result, but the Magician card says on a soul level, you do need to do something about it. So I don't know, is there a way to have the best of both worlds? That Libran energy coming through your polar opposite sign? Because Libra would be more diplomatic, wouldn't they? They would be more tactful. They would think first and then conversate afterwards. Whereas a lot of the times Aries, you can be reactive, but that's also going to show up as a lot of honesty in you, a lot of like rawness and vulnerability at the same time. Okay, so there's something that you've been walking on eggshells around. There's something that is causing you discomfort still. And the Magician card is saying you're going to have to take action on this towards the end of the month, because through that action, there actually is going to be a lot of growth. And the Three of Swords looks jangly and it looks a little bit painful, and it can be sorrowful, but threes are associated with growth in the tarot. So knowing that when you approach this situation and get it done and take a dynamic action on it, Magician card, you have the skills, you have the ability, you have the insight, you have the compassion, you have the time. Oh, and on that note, I better go. You just got to do something about it, because I guess the walking on eggshells, it's just not working for you, and the tiptoeing around. Thanks for watching, Aries. I'll see you later.